Where did it all go wrong? So I'm going to be doing two things within this video. First of all, I want to talk about what might have happened to Rin, Kakashi's old friend, Obito's old friend. And I'm also going to do a review of Kakashi Gaiden episodes 119 and 120 of Naruto Shippuden. So let's start off with Rin. What do you think happened to Rin? Here's my take on it. I'm pretty sure that if she is indeed dead, she died before the original Naruto. Because, I mean, Kakashi said it in the very beginning. All those close to him are dead now. A lot of people theorize that, oh, she might have died in between the original Naruto and Shippuden, and that's how Kakashi got Mangekyo. I highly doubt that, because he stated in the very beginning, everyone that he loved, everyone that was dear to him is dead now. So I definitely say that if Rin is indeed dead, then she died before the original Naruto, probably even before the invasion of Toby and the Kyuubi, and maybe that's what might have spurred on the whole thing with Toby. Assuming that Rin doesn't actually have anything to do with Toby, because we still don't even know, maybe she could have something to do behind, you know, all this madness. So I definitely say that Rin is, if she is dead, she died well before the original Naruto. That's why Kakashi said that from the very beginning, regardless of maybe, you know, Kishimoto didn't have that thought out at that particular time, but when he did think of it, she died before then, if she did die. So, and you know, saying, oh, well, then how Kakashi got Mangekyo is a big possibility, since he's linked with Obito, that maybe whenever this Obito got his Mangekyo, Kakashi got it as well. That's simple. So I definitely say Rin, if she is indeed dead, she died before the original Naruto, and probably even before Toby and the Kyuubi invaded Konoha. Now on to Kakashi Gaiden. I gotta say that first of all, these two particular episodes are probably top 5 best episodes ever in Naruto Shippuden. It was just, first of all, done beautifully animation-wise. Everything was just top-notch. Part 1 probably, and for the most part, overdoes Part 2, because in the beginning of Part 2, it's a little bit, like, not as good as Part 1, but then the very end of Part 2 is just phenomenally beautiful. So if you don't know what Kakashi Gaiden is, quickly, it's a backstory of Kakashi and his old friends Rin and Obito, and a mission that they had with their mentor Minato to destroy a bridge called Kanabi Bridge, and basically that was their mission, and a lot of tragedies befall them, and basically it ends up with Kakashi's friend Obito dying, getting smashed by rocks. He blames himself, Kakashi, because at the particular time, you see a difference in character from the Kakashi we know now, and back then Kakashi was very strict. He abided by all rules and regulations because his father committed suicide, you know, the White Fang, due to him, I guess, breaking the rules to save some comrades, and everyone in the village looked down upon him, even the comrades he saved, because, you know, it's a shinobi rule that you put the mission above your comrades. And, you know, definitely I want to point out one of the most outstanding things about this 2-part special in particular is something that Obito said, and, you know, this is the topic of controversy right now in particular, is that Obito stated, those who don't follow the rules and regulations are scum, but those who abandon their comrades are even lower than scum. And now people look at him as a hypocrite, if that is indeed him within the new stuff that's going on. So I gotta say that definitely Obito was an amazing character, the way he was done at that particular time. Everything that happened, he's pretty much, in my opinion, within this 2 special, you know, this episode, I gotta say that he's, in my opinion, what Naruto could have been, or what Naruto might have been, or a different type of Naruto, because, you know, he had the same type of situation. You know, he was kind of a loser. He had friends, but he wasn't too popular. He was, skills-wise, he wasn't really there, and episode 119 and 120 definitely showcased Obito as who he was. Probably the character, in my opinion, is, again, something Naruto might have become had he been, you know, in those particular shoes, because Naruto is not the rule, he's the exception to what somebody going through those trials and tribulations may be or may become. And I gotta say, throughout this 2-part special and whatnot, that it was done so well, the story, because it starts off, like, you know, building up, you get introduced to the characters, and, you know, within the first episode, towards the end of it, 119, you start to understand what's really going on. And even the previews and recaps really give you a sense of, like, understanding Kakashi a little bit more, and who he is and whatnot, because, like, during a preview, you hear Kakashi talking in retrospect about what happened. He says, when I look back then, I'm filled with so much regret. And you really feel for the characters. Like, every time I rewatch the ending where Obito is under the rocks, and in particular when Kakashi is screaming, damn, damn, it really gets me. And I really feel so sad about the situation, because I feel more so in a way for Kakashi, for the simple fact that he already experienced the White Fang, his father, dying, so that's what made him become what he was, just following the rules, and, he don't want to break nothing, he don't want to end up like what happened to his dad, the White Fang. And, another thing that Obito said that was real special, like, there's a lot of really good quotes in this particular special that really stand out, and, like, it's something that you could even think of in everyday life. Obito says something like, the White Fang, in my opinion, was a hero. And when he said that, like, Kakashi stood frozen, and I love that moment. That's one of the standout moments of this two-part special. When he says that the White Fang, the way he did things, that he really agreed with what he did. And I gotta say that Obito, in my opinion, knew what he was talking about, well, at the time anyway. And overall, really, there was just so many good moments in this two-part special. Like, if I was ever to pick out two random episodes of Shippuden to watch, these will probably be the two, because it's just so good. It's very sad at the end. It's one of those tear-jerking moments, I have to say, by far, that it really just gets you into the moment, because it's called A Boy's Life on the Battlefield for a reason, because, children shouldn't be on the battlefield. And, another thing that really stands out about this two-part special is mostly 120, I gotta say. The end of 120 is the highlight, the climax of it all completely is done very well, to the point where you're really feeling it. But when Kakashi's on the floor saying, so what if I became Jonin? So what if I'm the captain? If I can't save my friends, then what's the point? And the voice actor, by the way, phenomenal job. He did an amazing job as far as like portraying this kid that really just is dealt with this blow, and he's dealt with this situation. And for me personally, I think the voice actors nailed every single character that was done in this special. I think that Obito's voice actor did an amazing job when he's laying under the boulder and he's talking real quietly, because he's crushed there, and he's like telling him, I never gave you a present for you becoming Jonin, so here, I'm going to give you something, and don't worry about it, it's not going to be something like extra baggage, you're going to be able to use this. And then he tells Rin to give Kakashi his eye, and you really feel the moment, because the voice actor really portrays it so well, so beautifully. And I'm talking about the Japanese voice actors, by the way. I haven't seen the dub for this. I believe Obito is voiced by Vic Mignogna. If you want to look him up, he's also done a couple roles like Edward Elric in Fullmetal Alchemist. So the English dub, he has a credible voice actor, but I haven't heard his performance for that particular part. And just overall, the special is done so well. Like, I highly recommend, even if you've never even seen Naruto, and you're just watching this video for the sake of, like, checking what it's about, go watch Kakashi Gaiden. You might not understand everything, but you get a solid story. And that's what I think 119 and 120 does best, is that aside from all the connection of who Obito may be, Toby, what happened to Rin, who's Minato, and whatnot, I think it really just portrays a very good story of, a couple of kids that got put into war with their mentor, and they suffer a great tragedy. And, seeing Kakashi develop in those two particular episodes, he starts off in 119 just like, oh, you gotta listen to rules and regulation, Obito, you don't know what you're talking about. And then towards the end, he's like, I'm scum for what I did. He tried to abandon Rin at one particular point. He's like, no, we got to follow the rules. And you just see development in that character. And I know for a fact that he took a lot away from that experience. He really took away a lot of maturity. He learned who he was and what was the real right thing to do. He learned that his father wasn't a failure. His father committing suicide wasn't like something that he should look and feel ashamed about. Kakashi definitely grew the most in these two particular episodes. It was cool to see Minato, but for me, Minato really didn't mean too much for the special. It was more so the relationship between these three characters, Rin, Obito, and Kakashi. And if you look at it, a lot of people like to compare, and it is very similar. Rin is Sakura, Obito is Naruto, and Kakashi is Sasuke. And, you get that vibe for them, but this is a more, in my opinion, graphic and mature version of it, because, we've seen Naruto and Sasuke go to blows, but this felt like a real world. Like, you could see something like this in an actual movie, like, actually happening, opposed to like the stuff that we see with Naruto and Sasuke. There's a lot of chakra and a lot of supernatural elements, but with this one, you get a real feel of a war. Like, this was the third great Shinobi War, and you get a real feeling of that. Overall, 119 and 120, I give it 5 out of 5. Phenomenal episodes. Definitely what you would call special, because they're special. And just something very outstanding. I rewatched it twice just recently, just so I could really get my thoughts and understand the characters a little bit more better, and what they were precisely going, and what the author was trying to portray at that particular moment with these characters. And it was just done beautifully. But let me know what you thought of the special, if you've seen it recently. I highly recommend rewatching it. because it's just really that good. And it really, if you want to understand the characters a little bit more and see, because you know what's going on recently with the manga, Obito and who he was and what might have caused all this, then definitely go back and watch that. Maybe you even get some clues that might lead to some new theories for you. And overall, it's just really a damn good story. But that's all I have for this particular video. Again, what do you think happened to Rin, and what are your overall thoughts of Kakashi Gaiden? I'm ForneverWorld, and as always, people, have an awesome day.